Okay, here's another quick video on this floor job. This floor, I'm gonna let it run right into this closet. I'm not gonna do that threshold strip because I think that's ugly and it looks like it's an afterthought. So I'm gonna run these pieces right into this closet. And I made this notch and I'm gonna show you how I did that with regular old siding tools. This stuff is vinyl flooring. It's about 3/16 thick. And it can be cut with siding tools, and I'll show you how I did it. One of the reasons I'm making this video is because I want to show that these pieces, as I bring these out, as I bring them across and I end them up in this way, I got a clear shot down this hallway. My plan is to get these pieces going this way. I'm going to lock them in backwards into this hall, illuminate this threshold, that's the plan, and put them into here, that's the plan. Die them off into there, that's the plan. This one's going to require a threshold because it does have like an honey oak floor here, so we're going to use the threshold again, maybe even use the one they supplied or the one I tore out of here. Then I'm going to try to, from this point, come into this room and do this room. This house had a leak in it. They got a new roof, hopefully they got rid of the leak. But this whole job is like 438 square feet. So this is what I'm doing. I'd like to just jump into this closet, and I'd like to jump into this big closet in here too. That's kind of my plan. This is like 5 foot by 8 foot, this closet. So that's the thought. I don't want to take you back over here and show how I cut this. This piece here is going to get installed underneath this jamb. You know, the jamb's already been cut. Everything's going to clear. And I put the piece in position and I made all the marks like this. Just like I'm doing a piece of siding or drywall. All the marks were made. This is a laminate floor. It's a vinyl floor. Very thin. Here's how I cut it out. I cut it out with these offset shears. I cut this side first, which freed this up. Then I cut this side. I couldn't get into this corner close to cut because it's too thick, it's too rigid, I would have broken it. So once this piece was cut, I took these shears and I made the turn. And then I cut all along down here. This piece removed, I took the green shears and I cut from this direction the little tab out. So that's how you can do these without taking every piece up and down steps or in and out of the door 100 times, or using a saw in a house and creating a big mess with dust. If you can cut these by hand, these shears are very similar to the guillotine thing that guys use. And as far as I know, the guillotine only makes a square cut. With these shears, especially these kind, you can make turns and the material flows on top, out of the way from your hands, so the way that they're set up. These are offset shears. One more thing I want to point out while we're on the video with cutting this material is, I showed these the other day. These are old-fashioned. That's how they used to cut siding in the old days. Nowadays, everybody uses a radial arm saw or like a chop saw. But in the old days, they used to use these Andy snips. These are like a lightweight aluminum, and they have inlaid blades in them. This particular pair, they made gray, and they made a black, and they made a silver. The silver were for cutting like this, but the gray and the black ones were made for cutting like this. The actual blades themselves are angled, so you don't cut straight, you cut on an angle like that, which gives you more clearance and everything when you're cutting. So it actually works nice, it works better. So that's how these were made to cut. So these are kind of nice because if you gently cut through these and they're warm, you can get through them. But when you start making these inside cuts and everything, you want to switch back to a pair of shears like this. And it might take some practice because it can crack the material, because these things, they actually cut material. They're not like a saw blade where they remove material. Anyway, I'm going to keep bringing reports on how this job's going. But that's my plan. Go into this closet, get the closet done, go finish out the room, and go right down the hall. Get the hall done, eliminate those ugly looking threshold things. I can't understand to put them in there. Even if this room's out of square or I started out of square, these pieces are over 7 inches wide. You're not going to detect if the piece goes off a little bit from here to there. You know, if the pieces go off. If I have to cut off an inch down here and a 0 here, as long as they're locked together, we're going to be in good shape. And again, to jump into this room, and I'm going to work my way that way, running across the top of the joist, which run this way in this house. All right, thanks for stopping around. About a 5-minute video. My name is Len David Hart, and I'd like to help anybody who is interested in this kind of work. Thank you. Have a good day.